Hey guys, so the last video I recorded is somewhere in the ether of YouTube, so I thought I'd do this a little differently this time, a little technologically challenged. My presentation is called That Urban/Non-Urban Life. My name's Christina. This summer I'm working for Vanderbilt for their Gifted and Talented Youth program as a teaching assistant. Last semester I was a gifted specialist. Before that I taught urban ed and then I broke my ankle. And then next fall, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I have a couple book projects I might work on, and I'm applying for PhD programs. So far in my career, it's kind of an abysmal career, year and a half of urban ed and a semester of gifted specialists. But I've discovered that my main passion lies in the intersection between Black students and gifted ed. So applying for PhD programs with the hope of one day opening a school for Black gifted students that has a truly urban curriculum, where test scores do not determine a person's eligibility. A memorable equity issue that I've encountered, this is a political cartoon I made for my creativity class last semester, and it's actually true from experience. So as a gifted specialist, there was one student who was in the 50th percentile, and we had this long, drawn out discussion about whether she should be considered gifted or not. And everyone was involved, literacy specialists, the principal, the teacher, the assistant principal. It was crazy. I just couldn't believe it, especially because whether or not she would be still on my caseload had no bearing on the services that were provided for her because she was tracked in the gifted class anyway. So it was just really strange for me, especially coming from a school where it's slightly hyperbolic, but on the bottom here, this girl is quoting Pablo Neruda poetry, and she's standing next to a guy who looks kind of like, typical stereotype of a thug, but who's actually incredibly intelligent, and is quoting some lyrics from Kendrick Lamar. And the principal is saying, gifted, we need to inflate grades and get these kids to graduation, which is just, it's so prevalent of a thought in these schools, and it's just sad because there's so much untapped talent that just goes unnoticed. So my favorite part in engaging in these kinds of issues is just the fun and random conversations I've had with people because of it. It's been cool to have people ask about it, and then I just kind of go off on all of my ideas and passions, and for them to be like, man, that's really cool, and to get support from people of color who really do see what I'm doing and appreciate it and think that more white people should get involved. That being said, my least favorite are actually other white people, white students, just this prevalence of political correctness where they're like, well, you can't engage in those ideas because it's cultural appropriation to do this, and you don't really know what's going on in Black communities. And sure, that's true, but that doesn't mean that I can't work for minority students, and that's not where my passion lies. So it's been frustrating for sure, as I'm sure it will continue to be going forward. That's about all I got. I'm excited for this class. I've been looking forward to it since I started at UGA, and also excited to get to know you guys a little bit better.